Your Omaha High with Andy Greenberg is being sponsored by Best Buy Signs, creator of the Omaha Parks program, OmahaFastFoods.com, Certified Transmission, Sholdit, Rotella's Italian Bakery, La Peeps Restaurant, Two Men and a Truck, Shout Weekly, Critter Control, Russ Kaplan Investments. Welcome to Your Omaha High with Andy Greenberg, the show that will leave you feeling great about yourself, Omaha's heroes, and Omaha, where we live, work, and play. So park yourself on the bench and have fun. Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Your Omaha High with Andy Greenberg, the show that each week that provides you with, that good feeling about what? About Omaha, about yourself, about wonderful people that live here in Omaha, and of course about a terrific nonprofit organization that does some magnificent things for you and me. This week, we are going to have an opportunity to meet and talk to Francesca Stessman, who is a marvelous individual, an 11-year-old who is just going to show you magnificent ways to live life. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something. She is a magnificent performer, she is a terrific student, and she's got a personality that will absolutely shine through. We're going to be talking to her just a little bit later in the show, as well as talking to you about the nonprofit organization. But as always, we're going to start off with 3 motivational vignettes that are tailored specifically for you to make you even better than what you are today. So what do you say we begin right now? Now, how often have you looked at your computer and on the computer, right on the top of the either Microsoft Word or the Excel, you see those toolbars. Now, those toolbars are magnificent things. There are also toolbars when you go ahead and you take a look at the Internet Explorer. Now, here's my question for you. How often have you taken a look at each and every individual bar that gives you so many different options to use? Most of us have not. Most of us use 1 or 2 of those icons, and we say that's it. So, for example, you might bold something, you might underline something, you might have an italics on something, but there are so many different things for you to use. And when you don't use them, what happens? You know it, you don't use them. You lost the options of alternatives. You lost the options of making your documents look better. You lost the options of even having a more expansive internet search. And that is a shame. One of the things I want you to do is I want you to start taking a look at everything that's available to you in either Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel. Now, at this particular moment, you might be saying to yourself, why is he telling us this? This is not a computer technology course. The answer is, once you start to look at each and every individual item that you can use in those, you'll begin to take a look at those items in your life. Because how often in your life do you not look at things? How often do you not look at opportunities? How often do you not look at things that are made for you right there? You bypass them. You don't take them for advantage. You don't utilize them. And then you say to yourself, well, why am I missing out on things in my life? Why can't I increase the quality of my life? Why can't I improve the fun and happiness of my life? It's a very simple answer. Because you don't use all the icons available on the computer, you don't use all the icons available in your life. So right away, today, you and I need to start to take advantage of everything that's available to us. It's right there. It's obvious. It's in print. And imagine how better you will be. Imagine how much more you will accomplish in your life. Imagine how much more quality improvement you will get in each and every time that you begin to take advantage of everything that's right in front of you. Everything that is so obvious. Everything that was put there just for you. Now, the other thing I want you to remember is how often have you gone to the zoo? And in the zoo, we have the penguins. You know those marvelous cuddly creatures, those little creatures that just flop around. They are so adorable. Each and every one of them look exactly alike, don't they? They all have their white bodies. They all look like they're wearing tuxedos. They're all happy. They're all flapping around. They're just marvelous animals that we love to look at. But ask yourself this question. How often do you see one or two penguins doing something special, hopping in the water, just kind of flopping around? What happens? All of a sudden, they got your what? They got your attention. You're looking at that particular set of penguins, or those two penguins, more than you're looking at any of the other penguins that are there. And when you do that, they stand out. I want you to be the penguin that stands out. I don't want you just to be the one that looks like everybody else. I want you to be the one that is extra special. I want you to be the one that everybody focuses on. That's the lesson of the penguins. That's the lesson of the penguins for you. Be unique, be separate, be an individual. Now, it is this time during each part of our show that we begin to focus on a nonprofit organization. And today, we're going to be talking about No More Empty Pots. Listen very carefully. No More Empty Pots is a grassroots nonprofit organization whose mission is to connect individuals and groups to improve self-sufficiency, regional food security, and economic resiliency of urban and rural communities through advocacy and action. Their vision is to support communities in becoming self-sufficient and food secure through collaboration and adherence to the core values of education, consumers, producers, and youth, stewardship, land use, and community resources, and sustainability. Their major programs include the Community Market Basket in partnership with Tomato, and it brings locally grown food to consumers in food desserts and SNAP recipients. Truck Farm Omaha, a mobile garden that was planted in a bed of a 1975 Chevy pickup truck, is dedicated to educating youth about healthy eating, environmental sustainability, and the benefits of growing one's own food. The collaborative community-centered food hub project will provide jobs, business incubators, training opportunities for low-income and underemployed individuals, increased access to healthy local food, and positive community engagement. For more information about No More Empty Pots, visit nomoreemptypots.org. It's a wonderful organization that we should be involved with. And now, we have the opportunity to meet a marvelous person, Francesca Stessman. This is a person who at age 4 began to know who she is and what she wants. Now, I first met her at age 9 when she won a contest. And I'm going to allow her to explain to you how she is living her life and how you can learn from her. Francesca, welcome to the show. And you know what? I remember when you and I first met. It was on the stage. It was at Nebraska's Got Talent. It was a statewide competition. There were so many adults there, about 40 adults, competing for that prize. And you won. Since that time, you have also been on John Beasley's Annie show. You have also been to a statewide and also national-wide talent for dancers. And you tour all around the country. And not only that, I can't even believe this, you are academically superior to just about everybody else in the 7th grade, all at 11 years old. I just have one question for you. How do you feel about that?
I feel very honored and privileged to be given opportunities to do what I love, and I'm very thankful to receive some recognition for my work.
Now, you're honored to be that. Now, does all this happen by accident, or is this something that you've planned for? So, for example, when did you first realize that you've got talents? And just for everybody's recognition, I want to tell you the 3 talents that she has. She is a dancer, she is an actress, and she is a singer. So at what age did you realize that you had these talents?
Well, ever since I was a baby, my family and I traveled twice a year to a model and talent convention. So this event showcased actors, singers, dancers, and models. And so ever since I can remember, the stage has felt at home to me. When I was 4 years old, I competed at the convention and received 17 contract offers nationwide, and I signed with Shirley Grant Management and spent a summer in New York booking jobs and came back to Omaha when school started.
Now wait just a minute. At 4 years old, you went to these competitions and you got 17 offers at 4 years old. How did you feel about that? I mean, that's unheard of.
I was very happy, and I was very thankful to have received recognition
And the honor.
And I was very happy that people helped me throughout the process of competing.
So these are things that you don't do by yourself. These are things where you have the talent, but you also have other people help you. They coach you. So you went back to New York. Now, do you remember anything about that New York trip when you were 4 years old?
I did a magazine modeling, and I was part of a website called Kids Fresh, and I also did a commercial for Fisher Price.
Now, all at age 4. So I have to ask you, at age 4, what are your memories? Did you have fun? Because that's the important thing. So Francesca, did you have fun doing that at age 4, or did it become something routine? You know what, I'm a TV star, I've got a TV commercial. Or was having fun more important than all that stature?
Having fun was more important than having all the stature.
Absolutely. And you know, sometimes in life, we forget that, don't we? We go through the rut of work. We go through the rut of going up the ladder. We go through the rut of success. But that's not the reason that we should be doing these things. The reason that we should be doing these things is absolutely for the sake of having fun. Now, do you remember anything about the commercial that you did when you were 4 years old for, was it Fisher Price, did you say? What was that commercial?
So basically, I was the princess, and there was a plastic frog that I had to kiss in a little tower.
That actually sounds like fun, because that's a fairy tale come true. So what happened after that particular event at 4 years old? Did you continue to compete? And when you began to compete and you realized you had all these talents, did you do it alone?
No.
Who helped you, and do you need help?
My coaches, my teachers at Kitty Lee Dance Studio helped me prepare for dance competitions, and my voice coach, Miss Janet Ashley, helps me for vocal events. But I think my biggest supporter is my mom, because she helps me prepare, and she's very supportive.
And that's always important, to have a very, very supportive mom. But I have to ask you a question. I'm an adult. And when somebody tries to help me, you know what, I don't need your help. And I've got to guess, most 11-year-olds in this world, when someone says, hey, I'd like to help you, no, you don't have to. I'm pretty good myself. I don't need anybody's help. But yet you go out there and you ask for help. Why is it that you know you have these talents, but yet you still want somebody else's help? And what can we learn from you about getting help from other people?
I think that getting help from other people is better than doing it all by yourself, because if you're a busy person, there's so many things that it's hard to do it by yourself, and people like photographers and people who run commercials, they need cooperative, well-listening children. And so if you're not well listening and responsible for doing your part, they're not going to be happy.
So I think the word you're trying to say, and I know you don't want to say it, so I'll say it for you. They don't want the brats to be on the TV screens, right? And the one thing that your mom probably taught you, as well as all your other coaches, is, Francesca, do not be a brat. Be someone that you can actually work with, and take your ego and put it aside. Now, I say that intentionally because each and every one of us has skills. Each and every one of us has talents. Most of us don't want help. Now, I'll put that aside for a moment. But what do we do with our egos? Do we check it at the door, or do we take it in with us? Unfortunately, most of us take our egos with us, and then we wonder why somebody else with an equal or maybe sometimes inferior set of skills and talents are more successful than we are. The answer is, just as Francesca taught us, the answer is because we turn out to be brats. We turn out to be people that nobody else likes. And here we have a very precious 11-year-old who started at age 4, teaching us that in order to succeed, yes, you've got to be likable. Yes, you have to be able to get along with others. So you are a dancer, you are a singer, and you are an actress. Which one of those 3 do you like doing the best?
I love them all. It's really hard to pick.
But you sing too, right? So yeah. What's one of your favorite songs?
I like the song "Feeling Good" by Nina Simone.
Can you do a little bit of that for us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
That was superb. You must be practicing that for years.
No, I actually started learning it at the beginning of this week.
At the beginning of this week is
Yeah.
when you started learning that? It's an excellent rendition of that song. How do you feel about that?
I am very blessed to have good visual and auditory memory that helps me memorize scripts, lyrics, or whatever I hear very quickly. So memorizing has also been one of my big talents that has helped me through performing.
That's an outstanding way to use skills and talents. How many of us have a skill and talent and we say, you know what, hey, that's great, I've got it. Well, you know what, I'm not going to use it. This is another great example of how an individual can take a skill and talent and adopt it and use it as a transition to many other aspects of our life. Francesca, I want to go back to the time I met you. Mm-hmm. And again, you competed against 40 adults who wanted that coveted award of the winner of Nebraska's Got Talent. So when you showed up, mm-hmm. did you want to win?
To me, it really wasn't about winning. In my opinion, I win every time I go out and perform my best. I get disappointed when I walk off the stage thinking that I could have and I should have and I could have improved this. I'm 11, so I'm still training myself to give it my all without holding back and not walk off the stage thinking I could have done this and I could have done that better.
So how do you prepare for something like that? How do you get yourself in that mindset to go out there in front of strangers, be judged, want to do your best, but you know, you might not be certain that you are doing your best, but maybe somebody else is going to do better. How do you get yourself in that mindset?
Knowing my material is very important. My coaches and I talk about what I'm being judged on, especially if I have earlier critiques to listen to. And my teachers at Kitty Lee Dance Studio help me to better my weak areas and strengthen my strong areas. And when I have a singing event, Miss Janet Ashley helps me to use my vocals the best I can.
And the thing that I find remarkable is that you go out and you seek that particular guidance. So when you won, how'd you feel?
I was very happy and surprised at the same time.
And isn't that interesting? You talk about being humble. Now, what she could have said was, oh, I was very, very surprised. But you know what? I was the best. You know what? I deserve to win. That's not the way people should respond. Many people do, by the way. Many people say, hey, you know what? I won, I deserve to win. You shouldn't be that way at all in life. When you are blessed with skills and talents that other people aren't, and that allows you to have an elevation in life, that says, don't take it for granted. Don't go out there and say to everybody, I won, I'm the best, here's the trophy, ha ha. Because what happens? You will make a lot of enemies. And that is not what makes a successful person. So of all these performances that you've done, is there one particular performance that you might remember over anything else? Was it something you were singing? Was it some time that maybe you were dancing? Or do you just like every performance?
I try to enjoy every performance the best that I can. Every dance competition varies, meaning that some dance studios will be there and some won't. And so no matter who's competing at the competition, I always go out and try my best and not think about anybody else except for the people that I have to listen to and that I have to fulfill what they're asking me.
Right.
And so I just go out and try my best and
That's a
not think about winning.
remarkable way to do it. But I'm confused. I have to tell you, I'm very confused. You excel in those items. You also excel in your academics. How do you balance everything? How do you say, this is what I'm going to do now? Because most people today in life, they can't balance from the minute they wake up in the morning till they go to sleep at night. But you've got this whole thing figured out. How do you do that?
Well, balancing is a daily effort, and it's not easy when you love to do so many things. I am a 7th grader at Kiewit Middle School, and along with other subjects in school, I take 9th grade math and 7th grade Spanish. I also played the cello in orchestra and am part of chorus, show choir, and track. So I try my best to stay ahead of my schoolwork as much as possible. So for example, when I have to travel for a dance convention or a competition, I ask my teachers for my assignments ahead of time so that I can stay on top of my schoolwork. And because of my busy schedule, I have to prioritize, meaning I haven't been able to attend any football games or many sleepovers with my friends, but that's okay because I get to enjoy other things that I love. And I also, it's important to me to try to achieve a 4.0 GPA each term.
You know, I had a 4.0 too. I did, when I combined all my GPAs with 3 quarters in a row. But that's a story for another time. So you really have fun doing it. That's what I find so impressive. So let's go a little bit further. Where do you want to be in your career? Who do you see yourself being in the future?
I really hope to have a career in the math and science field.
Wait a minute. You're throwing me off here. You're throwing me off. You are a marvelous entertainer. You're a marvelous singer. You are a marvelous dancer. And yet you threw me off by saying math and science. I expected you to say, oh, I want to have my name on a big marquee. I want to be entertaining. I want to be performing. How do you get from what you're doing to math and science? And what is it that you want to do in the sciences?
I would love to have a career in the performing arts, but I think it's very important to have a good education to fall back on if those opportunities don't succeed. And ever since I was 5, I've always wanted to be a cardiologist.
So at 4, you were an entertainer. At 5, you wanted to be a cardiologist. So if there was one thing, just one, that you wanted everybody to remember from this interview, what would it be?
I just want to tell kids who love the performing arts to always follow their passions and fulfill their dreams. And I think a good education is very important in, like, if you're getting a career in the performing arts, you always want to have a good education to fall back on.
That is a marvelous way for Francesca to tell each and every one of us about a balanced life. Let's kind of review for a minute everything that she talked about. She has dreams, she has aspirations, she has goals. She shared those with you. You can see from her face and from the way she delivers it what a precious, well-balanced individual she is. That's why she's on this show. Francesca, thank you so much for sharing all that information with us. It was absolutely marvelous.
Thank you for having me.
And I just want to wish you terrific success moving forward.
Thank you.
And you know, at age 4 and 5, while she was talking about being a cardiologist and doing all the performing arts, most of us were playing with Legos. And I want to talk to you for a moment about Legos. Now, when you take a look at opening up a set of Legos, what do you got? You got a lot of pieces, a lot of different colors that separately mean absolutely nothing. But when you follow a diagram or use your own creativeness, what do? You begin to build something. You begin to create something. And when you create these things, based on the way you put it together, it really works out to something that you display. You know what? Life is the same way. There are pieces that each and every one of us get, just like the skills and talents that Francesca told us about. We all have these personality traits. We all have these little different things within ourselves, within our lives, about people who can coach us, about people who can help us. All we have to do is one thing. Take a look at our life as if it was Legos. And let's have those Legos build something for us. Because that is Francesca's secret. That should be your secret and my secret to always moving forward with our lives. So let's go ahead and review everything that we talked about in this show, Your Omaha High with Andy Greenberg. We talked about no more pots. We talked about taking a look at every one of the computer toolboxes up there and making them part of our personality, always taking advantage of everything that's offered to us. We talked about the penguins, meaning don't just be the one that stands around and looks pretty, be the one that stands out. We also talked about Legos. Take all the building blocks in life and always add them on, always put them together to make a great life for yourself. And of course, we will never forget the inspiration that Francesca Stessman gave us this day, how she takes her life, how she balances it, how she plans it, how she has a lot of fun out of it. And you know what? You and I can do the exact same thing. I'm going to scratch that. You and I should do the exact same thing that Francesca taught us, because right now, she for us gives us a marvelous inspiration about everything that we should be doing. That is one of the reasons why I am so high on Omaha, because we have these marvelous individuals that have these great lives that could make our lives even better. And you know what? Next week, the trend continues, because next week we're going to have another equally inspirational guest. Dr. Mark Christian is an individual who changed his life dramatically 2 times. One time, he changed his religion. The other time, he took himself from a country of his birth and came to the United States. That is what's in store for us next week. Until then, I thank you very much for watching Your Omaha High with Andy Greenberg, and stay high on yourself, stay high on Omaha, and we'll see you next week. Your Omaha High with Andy Greenberg was sponsored by Best Buy Signs, creator of the Omaha Parks Program, OmahaFastFoods.com, Certified Transmission, Sholdit, Ratella's Italian Bakery, La Peeps Restaurant, 2 Men and a Truck, Shout Weekly, Critter Control, Russ Kaplan Investments.